Welcome to Mum Abroad's YouTube channel, where I'm joined today by Natasha Kennedy and Clodagh Beaty. After working in law and HR in London for 10 years, Natasha relocated to Madrid for love. She took a course to become an English teacher and started teaching business English. She set up a TEFL Training business in 2006 on a limited budget and a lot of enthusiasm. The company grew, and Natasha now owns a range of brands under the umbrella of Let's Education. She's also a business mentor and a strategist for women entrepreneurs. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
And we're also joined today by Clodagh Beaty, a human resources and people development specialist. She has extensive experience both designing and delivering training as an external consultant and analysing, implementing and evaluating training as a learning and development manager. It's a mouthful.
It is, sorry.
That's okay. She's also a certified coach, an NLP master practitioner and trainer, and an ILM trainer. In 2012, Clodagh relocated to Spain, where she met her business partner, and together they created the successful Emotional Salary Barometer, which is an online tool which measures the emotional salary of a working individual. Hi, Clodagh.
Hi, Jane. Thanks so much for hosting us here today.
Great to see you both. In 2015, you set up together the IWBB, International Women Building Businesses, which is a free networking group for women in Spain. And more recently, together you founded the IWBB Vault, which is a membership program for female entrepreneurs. So first of all, Natasha, let's start off by talking a little bit about the IWBB. Can you tell us in a nutshell what it is?
Sure. It was originally set up as a one-off kind of networking event by a friend, and we then kind of collaborated, myself and Candy initially. Clodagh was still finding her feet in Spain then, and we set up this networking group, and we just wanted the information to be in a central place. Facebook groups were very, very new back then, so there wasn't the kind of tools that you can use for them now. Facebook likes to experiment with new things, and Facebook was its latest baby. So we set it up, and it's really just grown. We've got over 3,000 members now. And it's just a place where you can get support, advice about setting up a business, about running a business. You can find partnerships. Clodagh found her other partner through IWBB. There's been loads of partnerships that have started. And it was initially Madrid-based because it was very much revolved around the actual physical events. And over time, it's grown and grown. So we're all over Spain now, and we're setting up networking events because we really, really enjoy in-person events. So we're setting up more in-person events in Barcelona and Malaga this year, which we're really, really excited about. We found two wonderful women to help us lead those. And that's really how IWBB came about. And I think it's just people find it easy to get information. They can sell their businesses, they can network. There's just plenty of opportunities there. And it's a really comforting and supportive space because, setting up a business abroad is never easy.
No, absolutely. And I have to say, I have firsthand experience of this amazing group. I'm also part of the network. It's wonderful just to have all of those women out there who support you, isn't it? I mean,
it is because it can be lonely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Clodagh, at what point did you decide to set up IWBB Vault, and why did you decide to set it up?
I think we reached a point where we could see that a lot of the members of the IWBB group were struggling with the same things. There was, as we've said, it's lonely being a solopreneur or being a small business. People were asking the same kind of questions. And we really wanted to offer a forum where we could delve into things in a bit of a deeper level, because there's only so much you can do in a Facebook group. We wanted to offer really high quality training by experts. We wanted to offer a range of resources. And obviously, high quality trainers cost money, whereas IWBB is a free group, whereas the Vault is a a paid membership program. We wanted to offer something at a relatively low price point, because we know what it's like for women who are starting out in business. But we felt that by pooling our resources, by coming together and forming a membership, we'd be able to get in high quality experts to give training, and would be able to produce really good quality resources for members to help them, whether they're starting their business and continuing their business journey.
So really it's been quite organic growth then, starting with the Facebook group and then moving on with the Vault.
Absolutely. I think it's been, we started off with some courses, with the BizMap course, and we realized we could only, what happened to people after that? We gave this course, and then people were like, so what now? And we were like, indeed, what now? And so the membership kind of came about because the women that we were teaching on these courses and who were engaging with us really wanted I think they got so much out of the courses because of the accountability. Sometimes it's not always about knowledge. Sometimes it's about having someone to brainstorm an idea with. You think you've got an idea, but you always have to make these decisions on your own, unless you're in a partnership. And that's really hard. And I think it's hard for anyone to just constantly be a jack of all trades, which is what you have to be as a businesswoman. And so with the Vault, you're able to, come to co-working, you're able to have the training. We give you accountability with tasks every week. So every 3 months we change the topic. So we're in a sales time at the moment. So for example, one of our co-working every week for the next couple of months is dedicated to sales. And not like fluffing around on social media sales, like where you actually reach out to people and make money. And I think that's what kind of the Vault, the membership side of it, along with the courses we run, was so important for the accountability, support and community.
I have to say that I think that part of the appeal and success of IWBB is your relationship and your working partnership, and what you two together offer these women who have joined the group. It's clear that you work really well together, that you're on the same page. You met while studying law in the late 90s, I believe. Why do you think that your partnership works so well?
Go on, Chloe, you start. I know why it works so well. You tell me.
I think there's a couple of different reasons. I think we're different, and that really does help because we both bring different strengths to the partnership. And it means that when we're thinking about our strategy and how we want to move forward, we, both of us have perhaps a different perspective, which can really help. I think another reason is we both really value being in a partnership. We value working as part of a team or working together. We appreciate that other people have, different views to us, and we're able to really explore that. And I think as well, we're very close friends. And so that means that we have a lot of mutual respect, trust and love for one another. And I think that really helps us be successful in our partnership as well.
Absolutely. No, you're making me all tearful.
Sorry.
You know what I'm like? Oh. No, and it's absolutely true. And I think that was, for us, because of the closeness of our friendship, that was why we've avoided businesses for so long together. Because we've collaborated and we've connected people and we've done this, but our friendship is so important to us that it was a big risk for us to set up a business together. But I think we just got to that point where we couldn't ignore it any longer. We both wanted to do this. We both wanted to, use our experiences to help women grow. And we saw the struggle and we just thought it's time. We can't, it was like, no, come on. It's time. And yeah, it's great. And we are, like Chloe said, so different. It's, when we were studying our law degrees, I'd turn up at her house because Clodagh had a very much more stable life. She was married, she had a house, whereas I was still kind of careering around and with more of a student lifestyle, I think. And, I'd turn up and Clodagh would be writing her conclusion to an essay, and I'd be like, right, so I haven't quite decided which one I'm going to write yet. And she would be like to her husband, Graham, put the tie curry on. Tasha hasn't done anything. So I'd stay for the weekend, and she was my accountability. And also Chloe, you know, I didn't take it seriously enough. Chloe took it a bit too seriously. So we met in the middle. And I think that's what made studying together work really well. And that's what's made the business work for us as well. And it's a lot of fun.
Sounds like a really good balance that you have there. Yeah. Natasha, I know that a big part of your role is as a mentor. And on your website, there's a really lovely review that says, Natasha's a great facilitator, demanding, challenging, encouraging, and makes you accountable. No BS, no fluff. What do you think it is that makes you such a good mentor?
I think as I've been there, you know, growing my own business, I've now got, you know, a team of 30 people, and it's not easy to do it abroad. And I made so many mistakes, and it was so hard for my money mindset was by far my weakest thing that I have. I was all, you know, oh, money's not my thing. You know, it was kind of my identity and things. So I think I've been through that transition and that growth and that development. And I just don't want it to be so hard for other women. And I absolutely see the place for coaching, you know, and Clodagh's a coach and I'm a mentor, and we're very clear about those roles. We obviously, you know, cross over. But if someone has, you know, real mindset issues, you know, Chloe's definitely going to call that. You know, she's going to be there with that person, guiding them. Whereas sometimes people just need to kick up the bum and need to make decisions and need some straight business advice. Because there's, you know, there's hypothetical ways you can think about things, but sometimes it's just good or bad decisions. Sure. And that's where I come in, and I'm happy to say, oh God, I think that's a terrible decision. Let's not do that. Let's look for an alternative way. And to, you know, we were talking a little bit before the interview, you know, sometimes it's about just being kind and compassionate to yourself as businesswomen, because there is only so much we can do. And I really do think as a mentor, I've reached that point where I'm exceptionally kind to myself. And it's a really lovely feeling. I think it's also something about coming up to 50 and kind of, you know, maturity and experience. I don't know. But yeah, I like that direct, very clear business advice that I'm able to give based on experience and knowledge.
And Clodagh, what would you say are the strengths that you bring to the business that complement Natasha's then?
I think, you know, as Natasha said, I'm a coach, so I do approach things from a slightly different perspective. I would say that I can be a little bit gentler, but Natasha can be gentle as well sometimes. I think I'm definitely more analytical, and you know, sometimes my style suits other people, you know, suits some of our members more than Natasha's at certain times. Absolutely. And I think that's the beauty of us working together and both being so different. For our members, they can, you know, they get the benefit of both of those approaches you know, all the time. It's not just about working with one person who has a certain style and a certain way of approaching things. You know, they get both of us with our different approaches and our different styles.
And I think you're right. It's about, you know, knowing when that person needs which approach. So it may be that I've been working with someone, because we both work with people in the Vault one-to-one as well. And so it may be that, you know, I've done my whole, right, come on, kick up the bum time, and over 2 or 3 sessions, we're still not making progress. And that's when I'm going to go to Chloe and go, I've got nothing left. I've given them the talk. I've given them the nice talk. I've given them the strong talk. I've given them the kick. And so there's something deeper here. And that's not my area. So that's when Chloe will come in and go, right. Or she'll have been working with someone, got their mindset in a much better place. And then they come to me and I'm like, right, action. What are we doing? So we can kind of, you know, move people between us depending on where they are, because like, you know, learning a language or riding a bike or doing anything, you progress and then you plateau, and then you progress and you plateau, and you need different elements. And that's where we really complement each other really well.
Yeah, it's all about balance, isn't it, by the seams of it? Yeah. Natasha, what do you think are the biggest challenges women face setting up a business in Spain?
I think knowledge. It's all can feel very scary, setting up a business in a foreign country. I think, which gestor do you choose? Do you become, autónomo? Do you become an SALE? When is the different time to make that? Is it a viable business with the autonomo rates they are? It's not a country that favours the brave in terms of setting up businesses. So there's a lot to think about there. So I think knowledge is definitely one. And I think that's something that IWBB, the Facebook group, the free element of what we do is really good at sharing those kinds of resources. I think community makes it really hard, because if you were, back in your own country, the chances are you'd have some family or really old friends around you who could either boost your morale when you're feeling low or feeling worried, or you could have someone who's maybe done something similar, or simple things if you've got children, like taking over childcare, to give you a couple of hours extra. Or I just think it's that lack of fabric of network that you would have often in your own country that you won't necessarily have in Spain. I think those are the biggest challenges, and just really finding, knowledge and community, I think, are the main things that are really, really challenging for Spain. And as I say, Spain just doesn't favour the brave, and you've got to be brave to set up a business.
Yeah, that's a real shame about Spain, isn't it? Inevitably, mistakes are going to be made when you set up a business. Clodagh, do you think that making mistakes is the best way to grow a business, or for you to grow, should I say?
I think you're always going to grow through making mistakes. So long as you kind of stop and recognize what the learning is, I think that's a really important part of it. I don't think it's the only way. And what we really wanted to do with IWBB and with IWBB Vault is, share the mistakes that we made so that other women don't have to make the same mistakes. So I think it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Yes, you're going to learn through making mistakes, but I think the great thing about, getting this support and encouragement of other women who have been in a similar situation means that hopefully you won't make those same mistakes. So that's really part of what we do with the group and the membership.
Absolutely.
On your website, and you've both also mentioned this as well during our conversation today, it says being a solopreneur was never meant to be so solo. I think that's so true. And this is where the Vault, the IWBB Vault, comes in. You offer community, knowledge share, and accountability. They're kind of your three, big pillars, let's say. How does it work? What membership programs do you offer? And also, on a side, I realized that I didn't actually ask you at the beginning why you called it the Vault. So it might be actually quite nice to know that, and to also know that your members are Vaultinis, which I think is quite lovely. So perhaps you can just talk a little bit around that, Natasha.
Sure. So we called it the Vault because it's where precious things are held and where knowledge is held. And that is kind of what we want to offer, that there's a place you can come for the knowledge, wisdom, help, support, and everything's in one place. You don't have to look around, the vast world that is Google in order to find the things that you need. We think we've identified the key elements and key pillars that cross all businesses, because it's not rocket science when it comes to business. Finance is finance, sales is sales, marketing is marketing. So that was kind of the idea of the Vault. And it's important that the members, we don't want to call them just members. So we wanted something that made people feel, like a community. And so we have the Vaultinis, and we've run a competition, and people submitted their cocktails. So we now have the Vaultini cocktail, which is delicious. And so that's kind of the premise of the Vault and the Vaultinis.
Clodagh, what exactly are your membership programs? Perhaps you'd like to explain what they are for people listening.
Yeah, I mean, we have 2 different tiers of membership. We have our general level of membership, which is basically access to everything. So we have co-working sessions 4 times a week, virtual co-working sessions 4 times a week. We have a productivity morning twice a week, which is a 7 a.m. start if you're in Spain, 6 a.m. if you're in the UK, unfortunately, for Natasha, where, you know, it's to get you set up for the working day, where we do a little bit of journal writing, maybe some blog writing or social media, and then some time blocking so that you can really get on top of your day and start the day as you mean to go on. We have regular trainings once a month. We usually bring in experts in different areas, because although we've obviously got a lot of experience ourselves and we, you know, share that with our Vaultinis, we like to bring in specialists for certain areas. So for example, this week we have somebody coming in who's an expert in copywriting sales pages. So they're generally kind of really helpful things like that help people move forward in their business. We also have, we haven't had one for a while, but we also have virtual drinks, where people can kind of come along and just chat, really. And I think that's pretty much everything. We have a dedicated private Facebook group for our members, and that's really, really active. And people, what's great about that is people can get feedback on kind of anything that they're working on in their business. We have quite a lot of people who might ask for feedback on their website, for example, or things like that. That's the standard level of membership, and people get access to that. The higher level of membership is all of that plus a 30-minute one-to-one every month with either myself or Natasha. And as we said, it doesn't have to be with the same person all the time. It depends on what you need and what stage you're at in your business. And we also run regular training courses, workshops in various different topics alongside that, for our non-Vaultinis.
Yeah, but once you do a course with us, people tend to become a Vaultini.
Yeah, because that sounds like a great membership. That there's a lot there and something for everyone, for sure.
There really is, and so over 200 resources that are all, about, say, sales and finance and money and strategy and social media, and we try and as I say, we try and keep things themed so that we can really make progress on things. And we set you a little task every week, we try and keep everything very bite-sized. So the tasks are no more than 20 minutes to half an hour. And slowly they build up so that at the end of it, you've got a new product or a new sales pages, or, all sorts of things like that. It's nice. It's really nice.
Natasha, just to finish, 3 bits of advice for women who are thinking of starting a business in Spain, what would they be?
Being realistic and patient. I'm going to have that as one. I think, it was something that I talked about in a live in the group a few weeks ago, that, back in the day, if you were to set up a business, you would have saved, you'd have savings, or you'd go to the bank and get a loan. And there's this new culture where we can set businesses up basically with thin air, because we work from home, we're service-based businesses, a lot of us, but without that investment of either time or money, it's going to be slow. You are doing everything. It's not like when I set up my business, I immediately employed another trainer, and then as soon as I could afford it, I employed a marketer and then an accountant, and my team grew. Often with the businesses we choose, with the flexibility we have and the way we want them, it's us. So I think be really, really patient and realistic. If you make money in your first year, 5-6 years ago, that would have been unheard of. You would never expect to make money in your first year. So be proud of yourself and really, be patient with the progress. My next thing would be strategy. That, you've got to be intentional about everything you do. It's so easy to get caught up in Canva or social media and spend a lot of time doing things, being busy, without knowing why you're doing it. There needs to be strategy and intention to what you do. You should know, for most of the year, what you're going to be bringing to market how you're going to be doing that, what sales you're going to be doing for that, what's your marketing plan for that, so that there's intention behind everything. And my big thing is know your numbers. Numbers tell you everything. And I would say I was the least numbers person when I started off in business. And I could tell you what's in every single one of my bank accounts to the penny at this very moment. I could tell you what I made for all my businesses last month. I could probably tell you within fair accuracy what I made the year before, although I'm generally discounting 2020 and 2021 because they weren't very reliable numbers. So comparing back to 2019, I can tell you what numbers we have on our Instagram, how many Facebook people we have. I can tell you all those kinds of stats and numbers because I look at them and compare them all the time, because numbers tell you so much. And it's easy to start a business and not track. And when you track, you can gain so much clarity and information about where your business is going, where it's come from, how much progress you're making, what's not working, what is working. So I think knowing your numbers is absolutely fundamental from day one.
3 great bits of advice there. And Clodagh, 3 things that you love about working with such a diverse group of women in the Vault, what would they be?
I think the first thing would be about connection. It's just amazing to have that sense of connection with, as you said, so many diverse women who from different countries do different things. It's, it's incredible. I think the second thing would be probably the kind of learning and growth you get from working with other women. Because even though Natasha and I have built businesses, we've got experience in building businesses, you're never done. You're always learning. And we can, just as they can learn from us, we can learn from them as well. We get to hear what's working for them in their businesses. We get to kind of hold their hand and try out new things, new strategies. So, we're always learning as well. And I think the third thing for me would be just the sheer kind of joy from supporting of other women and knowing that, you're helping make a difference in terms of people and their lives. This is about, we spend a lot of time invested in our businesses, and it can really make a difference to these women. And it's just such an incredible gift to be involved in it. And yeah, that's it for me.
It's really great to see other people succeed, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's something very special about being part of other people's success. Yeah.
And I think women, for us, it is women only. It's for women or anyone who identifies as a woman. And that's very important to us, because we do feel that as women, especially often in a foreign country, there's a reason we're there. It's not necessarily always our choice. Sometimes it is. And we often are required to be more flexible, possibly, if our partner is the person who's got the more stable job. And so, women being independent, having the value they get from their businesses and make their own money, that's hugely important. And, as women, we feel that the world is changing. This kind of busy, linear, aggressive style business is fading, and this new evolved kind of business communities of connection and community are the businesses that will thrive in the future. And I think women, we're set to pretty much run the world going forward.
I won't argue with that.
It's our time.
Really, really great to talk to both of you today. Natasha and Clodagh, thank you very much for joining me at Mum Abroad. I'm going to put a little ticker along the bottom, which is your website address. That's www.IWBBvault.com. And there people will find out more about your courses, the Facebook group, your membership programs, and also your contact details.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. It's been lovely.
Yeah, thanks, Jane.
My pleasure.